Hello everyone, and welcome to the reboot of the Route X Lap Attack series. We are doing the Pontiac Firebird for the very first car in the Gran Turismo 7 variation. After that, we will give the 1969 GTO a run, and from there on, we'll just move on to other cars. I also got a DeLorean I want to test out, a few Mustangs. I want to get the BMW M2 a try since that just got released in an update. A lot of good cars I'm willing to try out in here. And if you also have any other suggestions, please give me a heads up. I will be more than happy to give them a run. Now, I should point out this. This episode is actually being recorded before I'm doing the run of the Bugatti Vision car in Gran Turismo Sport. I just have nothing better to do at this moment, and I figured right now would be a good time to try and get this out of the way. So after I do finish running the Bugatti, once I start racing more cars, I can move on or just get this uploaded faster and then keep getting more videos out coming faster. So let's talk about the paint here. Usually when I have a GTO, or I'm sorry, not a GTO, a Firebird in Gran Turismo, I go for a black livery just like in Smoking the Bandit. But as I stated in a different video, this actually is a custom livery I wanted to try out for a change, because when I got this at the used car dealership, they would not allow me to change the color. It was light blue, if I remember correctly, or maybe light red. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago. But either way, I wanted to try and go for a Gulf Mobile in Ohio inspired livery. And it would be interesting if I did that for the GTO. Just put the words GMO on there. But it looks pretty good here. I like it. Still surprised this thing's got pretty low mileage on it. And it says that everything's in excellent condition, so that's always a plus. One other thing I'm excited to share with you guys is I found Gran Turismo 4 for my PS2. I was heading to the Cranberry Inn to meet up with family for dinner, which was very early at like 2 p.m. But when I was traveling with my mom and her boyfriend and my stepsister, Chris's daughter, my stepdad, we were actually an hour early, so we decided to walk around town, see what there was to see, and we found this old comic book store, which I think you could call more like a hobby shop, because there were a lot more than just comic books there. I found Gran Turismo 4, 5 Hot Wheels, and 3 VHS tapes. I got a copy of Red Dawn, The Rescuers, and The Emperor's New Groove, which I was really happy to see because I used to have that on tape a lot when my dad got rid of it. So, to see that again after all this time, it's great. I'm happy to have it again in my collection. As for The Rescuers, I don't know why I never got that until now, because I've had the sequel ever since I can remember, but we never had the very first Rescuers movie. I've already seen it once at my friend's house. He had a VHS copy, so to have my own copy for a change, it's nice. I'm really happy for that. Close to 180. I could have sworn this car had more horsepower, but we're actually under 500 at 481 to be more exact. Still pretty good. Especially when you get the supercharger and the racing intercooler for said supercharger. Really increases your performance by a lot. And I could have sworn I had a nitrous on here. I can't see it for some reason. I know I changed it to R1, or maybe the controls changed by itself. Oh no. Not all the cars are going to have nitrous. I didn't really plan on using it here anyway. This is just for when I do online races or certain events to get more points or money. Whatever you want to call the currency here. I mean, they typically call it credits, but I just like to call it money. I can actually see the gauge right there to the right of the speedometer. Usually it's R3, but I changed it here, as you can see, to look around the car. I didn't want it to be R3 because that's how you also look around and do a few other things. I also changed it to look at my traction control and all these other goodies right here, like the course map. But I typically like to keep it a course map anyway, unless of course I have to change my traction control for drifting events, or if I'm doing a race with limited fuel, like for pit stops. They also have that one thing where you can decrease your horsepower to save more fuel. Really useful thing. I like using that. And of course, when they also had the horn, I also had to try and do some more modifications to try and make it easier to use it. I just push down on the L3 button when I'm not steering. Now, driving this car and then looking at the 82 Firebird and the Crew 2 makes me wonder how many more cars we're going to have like this in Gran Turismo 7. There's an update video I reacted to when they had the BMW M2, the Ford Sierra, the RS 500, and a Nissan. I thought those three cars were really cool. But interestingly, sometimes when I see the Silvia, depending on what body style it has, that also reminds me of a Pontiac. It makes me wonder if Nissan ripped off a Pontiac that they did, or vice versa. And we got a time of 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Needless to say, there will be a lot of cars that'll go faster than that, but I think that's a pretty good run time for our very first car. Looks good too in the two-tone red. And there you have it. Right now we're at first place with 6 minutes and 23 seconds. But just how long will it stay there? We'll find out in the next episode when I test out the 1969 GTO. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.